Welcome to the CFG Gamecast, episode number 173, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode every Sunday and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, and so much more. So show us some love, give us a follow on Twitch, a like on Facebook, or subscribe on our YouTube channel, or go to our main website, confreaksgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
I spent the week in bed. So Smitty got COVID, and I had the worst allergies of my life. I don't know what it is. I usually don't have bad allergies. I take an allergy medication for another condition that I have daily, and usually that covers me for like the season. Like I'll sneeze a little bit more often, no big deal, right? Because we've got these beautiful trees that bloom these like yellow blossoms behind our house, and it just cakes the cars. Well, Smitty said he had COVID, and the day before I was having trouble breathing. I'm like, oh, what is going on? And then when he said that, I tested twice. I came up negative both times, different days. And my goddaughter was like, well, I have an extra albuterol inhaler. And I was like, okay, 2 puffs, fine. Not coughing, breathe fine, feel great, sleeping through the night. So that was good. But my body was like super weak all week long because I helped my best friend move into her new apartment. So I was picking up like 60-pound boxes and building bunk beds, which the top bunk is not stable, so nobody get on it. But yeah,
That sounds horrible.
Well, the bottom bunk was kind of broken, so I moved those pieces to the top, So for the little one.
God.
The top is
basically not know if someone does not
know they know
is broken.
They know.
Oh, okay.
Because I made it so that the ladder like kind of moves a little bit, and so that it's a warning, like don't climb this ladder. The ladder is safe, but it's basically the top is like all of their stuffed animals and their mushy mellow pillows that everyone is obsessed with right now. But yesterday I was feeling better. I was able to actually sit in my chair and like watch some YouTube videos. I tried to play some games, but my brain still wasn't quite there. So Adam and I ran some errands and then got rear-ended and almost got into a fist fight. So that was fun.
So it's a Monday.
Not by the people that rear-ended us. The man that cut me off. I went to beat my horn and it didn't go, and it just went beep. That's all it made. A tiny little beep. Adam and I even laughed because my horn didn't really work. This man 10 feet later slams on his brakes and he's flicking me off out the window, opens his door like he's going to get out and do something. I'm trying to unbuckle to get out to do something back, and we got rear-ended. Poor family. I felt so bad. They saw the whole situation, and everyone's cars was fine. Everybody was fine. Their kids were a little shaken up. But yeah, we went home, ate our canes, and played some Redfall. That's all I've done all week.
Fun. Interesting. Golly. Hey, but Lex.
Yeah.
Do you know who has a lot to say about the upcoming Redfall, the Redfall in this first chapter?
I do. I think I do. His name is
the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What is going on, my dude?
Chilling, man. Like you said, we've been getting down on games and playing and doing stuff, and it's been a week. We had Jedi Survivor that came out here. What was it, earlier this week or the week before? I think it was earlier this week.
I think it was the week before.
Was it the week before? Has it already been a week?
It came out. Did it come out this week? It didn't come out this week because the patches. It came out. Yeah, it came out May 5th. That's what.
So it did come out this week. Yeah. So like
no, that was last.
No.
No, I'm sorry.
No, today's the 7th.
April 28th.
The week before. So
what is happening?
It was April 28th. Sorry, it came out April 28th.
We are professionals, don't mind us.
We are.
Yeah, so I've been grinding through that. Guardian game started for Destiny 2. Been playing through a little bit of that. And then when Dustin were not busy, not being my friends, him and I played a little bit earlier in the week, Redfall. So I've got a lot of thoughts on the game and things and stuff. So it's been, it's been all right. It's been a pretty solid week. I decided this week to, and like this was a crazy, like I don't know what it is, man. Like I missed multiple meetings this week, and like I've been all scatterbrained, and like I think there's still residuals of the COVID that are kind of affecting us and stuff like that too. And like so for the most part, I've kept it pretty chill. I started I wanted to, anytime I get scatterbrained like that, I like to get things clean and organized, declutter, and you know what I mean? Mentally, I feel like it helps me out. So I've definitely been in the process of that and chilling. I think we're going to try to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 maybe today.
What?
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's out.
Yeah.
And I've been hearing good things about it.
Are you going to see it in 4D?
Possibly. I need to look to see. I don't know if it's too late. I meant to get tickets yesterday and I forgot. So it's still happening. It's still happening, folks.
Text me about it.
Yeah, because Snake Eye saw it in 4D and he said it was great, dude. He was like, it was fantastic. Because you know how when we went and saw Black Panther, that was not the way I wanted to experience that film. It just did not benefit from having that experience. Whereas I had a blast in Love and Thunder, which is absolutely.
We were laughing the whole time.
We were literally, it was fantastic. But sitting there watching the movie, normally it was worse, I felt, than watching it in 4D. So like I learned that I was like, all right, there's certain films that this works better with than others. What is 4D? It's like literally like you're in a roller coaster chair basically, and they like have water and air and like basically smells. It brings smells, like it brings the action of what's happening in the film basically into real life almost.
When someone gets hit, you feel it in your chair. You're short if you get hit in the back of the head. It's got like this little sweeper too for your feet at the bottom. So if like someone if action is if action's happening and like feet are being swept out, like you feel it. It's really neat.
It's fun. It is a fun experience.
Black Panther, it was such a sad movie that I agree the 4D wasn't the way to go, but I would for Galaxy. And if you go, I'll go with you.
Yes, I will let you know. I'm going to take a look here after this, after we're done with the podcast here.
That sounds good.
Good. Yeah, but overall it was solid, man. What about you, brother?
Dude, it's been actually a good week of gaming, actually, surprisingly enough. Besides just trying to get everything set up on the website that I'm trying to pull up, so we'll hopefully be revealing that one very soon. But definitely been playing a lot of coming near the end of my Final Fantasy 13 run through. Thank God, I'm almost there. Just so close to being
done.
Dude, the game is so so here's the thing. Like, I was going to play Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I was planning on wanting to finish 13 by that time, but then May 4th came out, and then I was like, oh, this is the perfect day to actually stream Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So I streamed it, and then I'm like, God, I really want to play some more of this. I don't want to play 13 again. But then I was holding myself back. So on Friday, I ended up not streaming anything at all, because if I if I play any more Jedi Survivor, I know this is gonna be in the back burner again. Yeah, exactly. So
are you enjoying it?
Well, Jedi Survivor, hell yeah, I am liking it.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
You haven't had any glitches or anything like that on your end?
I got on the console, and then I haven't experienced the glitches yet. But there was a patch.
There's a patch Tuesday.
There was a patch on Tuesday that fixed stuff a lot of stuff on Tuesday on the consoles, and then on Monday for the PC already, which had Tuesday's patches, but for the PC already. But then they also optimized it for the graphics cards. I don't know if it's any better, but yeah. So I'm loving what I played. Then I'm like, okay, let me hold back. Then on Saturday, who stopped by on Saturday, which I really do appreciate. It was really fun. We did a sponsor stream for a game called Trinity Trigger, and with one of my reviewers, Pop No Tarts, who was actually, we had a really fun time doing that.
I was gonna say they've been on the show, haven't they?
Yeah. Time ago. Yeah.
He replaced me when I was sick. Yeah.
It was good. Like, I'm definitely glad.
She's adorable. I love her.
Yeah, it was really good. It was good. So I've been keeping myself busy with a lot of that stuff. So, I did play a little bit of Redfall, but like I already had no interest in the game already, because this is not my kind of. It was already not my kind of bag. But but I understand the whole deal, which we'll definitely get into it here shortly. So, but it was a definitely a fun week of gaming, I would say, that I haven't had in a long time, surprisingly enough, which is even crazier to say. So, but anyways, let's get down to it. I know y'all don't want to talk about some more Final Fantasy 13 as much as I don't. So let's go to the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic of this or discussion in the world of video games that happened in the previous week. The topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry. And we don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners or viewers on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Kick, and all different kinds of platforms that we're doing live to be a part of the conversation. So if there's something you wanted to chime in on whatever we're talking about, by all means, just type it. Yeah, exactly. Just type it inside the chat. We'd love to discuss it with you. So we'll get this party started with Smitty's topic. So what are you bringing to the table, my dude?
Y'all already know what I'm going to talk about. We got to talk about Redfall. Now,
global warning.
Yeah, now prepare your butt dust, because I know you're having a great time playing it.
Just commented too about it.
I'm a realist. Hold on, real quick. So hold on. We'll get to that here in a second. Here, Dust. Redfall. It came out. It came out this past Tuesday, and for me, we already knew that it had been delayed before. It had gotten at least one delay. I felt throughout this production it's been a little confusing. They originally were going to release it for Xbox, the past generation of Xbox and PS4, and then they made the pivot to do it just for next gen, which was smart. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, dude, like, we're in the next generation. Why? Like, there's no point. Just don't worry about it and move forward with the next generation, right? Okay, so they made that pivot. They were delayed, and then here a couple weeks, maybe a week and a half or so before the game was coming out, they announced that the game would only be 30 frames per second. Now, typically this wouldn't be something that's an issue, but literally the whole time they were talking about how this game was coming out at 60 frames per second. That in itself is just ridiculous. And this is one of the cutscenes. As you can see, their cutscenes are stills with voiceover over it. Now, in 2023, why? Why is that even a thing? That should tell you everything. The graphics on this game, and excuse my French, are dog shit. There is a majority of the time there is like no texture on anything. You can see it. This is from my playthrough when I was playing solo and whatnot. I pumped up the graphics to ultra, and it's lacking in so many different areas. The gunplay to me does not feel very fun. It doesn't feel satisfying. If I'm popping heads, I want to, you know what I mean? It should be gratifying. It doesn't feel gratifying. Either the people just slump over or they get turned to ashes with a cool animation, which that's cool, but come on, man. The gun variety in itself is lacking. There are literally specific types of guns, and then they have the common, uncommon, legendary, whatever, that tier system. And you get bonuses, but even the bonuses seem arbitrary because there's no real system that shows how does recoil impact me. Because, you know what I mean? Like this is, again, this is kind of an issue too with Deathloop in terms of aiming and shooting. It was kind of off and it was funky. I feel like this is kind of funky in that same sense. So
were you able to adjust in Deathloop and stuff? Like, cause like there were some things I don't get me wrong, I had played a little bit of Redfall, and then I felt the controls, like the aiming in that was insanely tough comparatively to what Deathloop was, but was there something in Deathloop that made it easier to adjust, at least to make it better, to make the experience better?
I mean, Well, I mean, there's a variety of ways that you can do the missions. You know what I mean? So you didn't necessarily have to go and do that. And there was a wider variety of weapons as well. So there was ways around that stuff and not just having to rely on it. That's all this is for the most part, other than a few select abilities. This is basically gunplay. So if your gunplay is weak, there's not, I don't know. It just seems like a hodgepodge. Like it almost runs like a looter shooter, but there's not enough weapon variety for it to do it. What are you grinding for? What are you trying to get? You want to always upgrade your guns, get them better, have special abilities on them that have some sort of impact. And now, don't get me wrong, they do have some of that within these guns, but they're literally just different names of the same types of guns. The texture alone on the graphics on this game is upsetting. This is early 2000s graphics. This game, the biggest thing is that this game clearly is not finished. Okay? That is a huge problem today that we've been getting, especially with AAA games, where we're getting these incomplete games and we'll just fix it later. Like, that's pathetic. That is pathetic, and that is not, it's not acceptable. Not this day and age at this time, dude. Like, that is crazy to me that they released this game. This game absolutely should have been delayed again. There's no business. And then, of course, there was and I'm sure that David's going to talk about, because he watched the full Phil Spencer interview. We talked about it a little bit on my stream, how basically, he was like, yeah, we knew this game wasn't finished, but we apologize and we're going to make this better. First priority is getting 60 frames per second in the game. We know the team didn't hit their goals and they're disappointed. Like, if you have all this information, how dare you sell this premium price game to folks knowing it's not done, and we'll just finish it later. Look at Sea of Thieves. Look at they cited Grounded. Grounded came out at $30 as an early access game. They tested it. We were very transparent about that. They knew the game is fully released now and it's great. The way things should be done. You don't get to cite that.
And Grounded also took a lot of cues from the community as to what could and make it better and what we needed as the survivors in the game as well.
Yeah. It's crazy. Hold on. One last thing. Right. I don't want to completely trash. I do have to say, I think the sound design and music is fantastic. I love it. It gets you in the mood. You're there. Everything else is lacking. You know what I mean? It's like, I wish that the same quality of the music was put into every mechanic and everything within the game. That is to me, that is the highlight of the game, is that music and the sound design.
Oh yeah, that's a good. I mean, don't get me wrong, that is a win. Okay, that's great, but dude, it's like, really, sound design is the best thing that you're going to get out of a AAA title like this? I mean, because like this game was $70, man. I don't know, I know Lexi had Game Pass, but I know you and Dust were playing at the same time, so I'm assuming
I do.
Y'all had to pay for it, right? Yeah,
he did. I didn't.
I'm sorry, Dust paid for the game.
Dust paid for it, and he's gone pretty far.
I would immediately ask for my money. I mean,
you can't say that. You buy every game.
No, I don't. I have Game Pass.
I know, but there are games that you bought that you knew were broken.
That's true.
What games did I buy that I knew were broken?
What's the robot
Anthem?
game? Thank you.
I didn't know that game was broken.
I know, I'm just kidding.
I'm going into it? I thought he was playing on Game Pass. I thought Dust was playing on Game Pass.
No, they only have one Game Pass. That's all I know they've only had one.
I found out he can be on he can be part of my family on my Game Pass. So I don't know why he doesn't do that.
Okay, case close.
This ain't on me.
That. I understand, but I'm just saying overall, like, I'm just saying it as an example. Like, if you're like, the expectations on the game, I mean, to hit $70, you're expecting to have some sort of level of quality that you're doing. And Arcane Studios is a known good company. I mean, they're the ones that made Deathloop.
I love Deathloop.
And I just don't understand, like and when talking, like when listening to the interview, which by the way, if you haven't, check out the kind of funny games cast. The thing is called like X Game or Xbox Cast or whatever. They did a straight 45-minute interview with Phil Spencer, and to his credit, I'm glad that he owns up to it. But at the same time, it's like, dude, this is the same old shit, different day. You know, this is what we've heard this before. You've bombed your big one. Halo was bombed. It was not. I mean, no one talks about Halo at all and stuff like this. And the biggest issue that I'm having on this is that there's clearly a communication issue. I can understand that if Phil Spencer, because Phil Spencer is the top of the pyramid. 9 times out of 10, he's not the person that's going to be in the groundworks of the development and stuff like that. He's taking care of fires that we probably in our minds cannot imagine what they're doing. Like, or I know one on the top of my head, the merger with the Activision Blizzard. I'm assuming that's his priority. But then the communication that's going between that to that level to how production's being made for this game is uncalled, like, because there's definitely has to be a level of miscommunication between this, because this game, the game itself, it was half-assed. I mean, there's no other ways. So I mean, I don't even
think it was half-assed, dude. Like, I don't even think it was half-assed though. I just think they got it wasn't ready, and they said you're gonna ship it anyway, and they had to ship it knowing that it was broken.
Dude, I mean, come on. Like, there's the stages are huge for one, and then like are huge, but it feels like the area is completely dead,
empty. So
like,
the AI is so dumb.
Yeah, the AI is so blank.
It's pathetic
on that. The shooting to shoot these these vampires. I was expecting it to be hard, but because of the clunky controls, it is a nightmare to get that stuff to get straight because
they move fast too.
Yeah, exactly. They move ridiculously fast. Some of the simple stuff that you're expecting to have, like the biggest thing, like I think most people probably don't even think about this, is your access to your weapons. Because, like, for instance, I think you can carry 3 weapons, right? Like, you carry 3 guns.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
So you can. So let's say you carry like a handgun, a sniper rifle, and a shotgun. So obviously you do a handgun for a sniper rifle is your second, and then shotgun is a third. Let's say that you had your handgun and you wanted to switch over to your shotgun. You can't skip your shotgun. What you have to do is you have to wheel upwards to your shotgun. And you don't think that's a big issue, but it is an issue, because like when you're at point blank range and you need to switch immediately to something close range, especially how fast these monsters are going, it there's multiple times you're going to get yourself stuck because you have the wrong weapon to shoot these people out. So I mean, simple things like that. And with from Arcane Studio, this game was not, like you said, the game was definitely not complete, but the game itself it's not fulfilled. There's multiple different. Yeah.
Tell me what co-op game you know of where you can co-op, but the missions don't progress for anybody but the host. That is the most ridiculous thing. Yes. Insane. So if you were playing and he's the one, because he probably invited you, because Dust is sneaky like that.
No,
he's been progressing.
I hosted.
All right, so he's better. I should have known. He's a good dude. He's a good dude in real life, y'all.
Yeah.
But he knew I was trying to. And I don't mean to, Dust, because I had fun playing with Dust. But the state of the game is absolutely pathetic, and I'm angry for people that paid $70 for this game. It pisses me off that they went and did this, knowing full well that this game was not ready to ship. And I don't want other games to Quantum Error. Is a game from gosh dang, I'm totally spacing on the studio. But They are working on a game, and I don't think it was meant to be a slight, but somebody had asked, how come you guys haven't put out a release date yet? And they're like, we're still in the testing. When it's all polished and we feel ready that it's going to be ready to go out to the public, then we're going to put out a release date. As it should be. That's the way things should be. But I feel like a lot of companies, especially these bigger ones, which again have shareholders and this and that, they don't get to work in an independent space like these smaller studios and things like that. They have to adhere to these crazy rules, and we're just getting trash games. As consumers, we're getting broken games. Now tell me any other product that you can get that is not complete and somebody sells it to you at full price, you can't go back and say that's shenanigans. I'm pretty sure that is illegal. So,
but then again, when you think about it, though, it's just, I mean, see, the problem is like I would even call this even the scapegoat to it because this is same old for me personally, same old Bethesda. I mean, that's basically what.
Well, that's the other scary thing.
Even if it's Microsoft, it doesn't even freaking matter. It's Bethesda's like that's for some reason Bethesda they always get that weird pass because they say, oh well, don't worry, we're going to make it better in the long run in the later run. They've always done that, and I don't and that's why I didn't really put my breath when I heard about this announcement. I'm like, okay, whatever, we'll see. I'll see it till I believe it and go with it. But before we do that, I'm interested in wanting to see what Lex's opinion is.
Yeah.
Like since towards all of this.
So,
And
for
she played
somebody who has color blindness and can't see very well, it was very hard for me to find Dust, even when he was standing right in front of me. He glitched out several times. The frame rate bothered me a bit. Like, it almost made me nauseous. Like, I was playing a PlayStation 2 game, and I wasn't used to, like, the moving mechanics, but I'm playing on keyboard and mouse, so that shouldn't be an issue. I did enjoy it. I did have fun. Dust would, cover me from behind, and I would run up and stake him if I was out of bullets. And I loved that whole sequence. That was pretty cool. But I do agree the AI system sucks. I just take the friendly fire and like walk around and shoot him in the head. Game over for the AIs. The looting in the homes was, it didn't really feel necessary, but like they made that part of the game. So it was kind of like, okay, am I gonna find a legendary? I did end up getting legendary weapons. And I'll play it again. I did enjoy it. It was a nice way to pass time. I didn't have to really think. It was just point and shoot. Now, for somebody who is also disabled, who doesn't see well, on top of my color blindness, they did have the color blindness option for my type of blindness, which is great because not all games do. It's called tritanopia, I think is how you say it. They don't always have that available because I'm blue purple colorblind. So I was able to change that setting. I was also able to change my shooting settings so that it looks different on my screen than it does on Dust, where he doesn't have that on his, but I do. So I do have a receptacle at the end of my weapon. It is white. I can't change the color, which sucks. Games, please, for the love of God, for us who are light sensitive, please let us change the colors. I think the only game I can honestly off the top of my head think of that has let me change the color of my receptacle is Overwatch. And I don't even play Overwatch anymore. But because it's so dark in most of the scenes, it didn't really hinder me at all. But again, I feel
I do have a question though.
Sure.
Sorry to cut in, but like, is it fun? I mean, I'm just curious because like apparently there's a break between like the multiplayer mode and if you're playing with people that you're familiar with to the solo play. Like, have you tried playing the solo play at all, or
I haven't, but Dust has, and he actually commented about it. He said, so I've gotten a little bit further into the game playing solo than when I did with Smitty, and there are some different activities and stuff that make Redfall feel more fun. So I think the further you progress, the better it gets. And he also stated, I bought the game full well knowing what I was going to be getting for the $70. So he was willing to throw away the $70. Not all of us have that ability, but it is what it is. I didn't hate it. It's not the worst game, but I agree. The graphics suck. What are the still photos? I don't need to see that. Also, there are so many little things to pick up and read. And again, they're all in white. I can barely see them. And I hate the side pop-up. I know it's doing it to tell me how to play the game, but honestly, that's for people who have never played a game in their entire life. I don't need that. And every time it pops up, I have to sit there and hold escape for it to go away before I can move forward. So
I'm just like, it's just, dude, like, it's tough because it's mind-numbingly tough to even. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand why anyone would want to kind of see, like, try to get to the positive notes, because I would try to be. I don't want to rag on this.
I don't either. I want to like it.
I
hope they fix it.
Yeah, I want gaming in general, because if multiple different companies have good games, everyone wins. But like when shit like this comes out, then these expectations are being changed because these people brought out a half-ass game, and this is a triple A game, mind you. Then no one wins. Even like PlayStation and stuff. Even the thing that kind of irritated me from most of this is that you have a Xbox Series X. They flaunt saying that is one of the strongest console systems that they have ever made. It's stronger than a PS5, mind you. That's from what they're saying and stuff. But they don't. They're like no one's utilizing it.
You're not getting heavy hitters.
Even Microsoft isn't utilizing that technology itself. Mm-hmm. And then even though that they're pivoting more to like, cloud-based gaming and stuff like that, then it's still clearly showing that gaming is not in y'all's forefront in its forefront itself. Mm-hmm. And then when I was listening to the interview that Phil Spencer was talking about, the big thing that I was getting on this is that he even says that they're not really worried about the console. I mean, they're not overall the console side. There's no way to really kind of compete between Sony and Nintendo on the console. That's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to try to think of gaming in a different level. Perfectly fine. I understand that 100%. I'm on board if you're wanting to be the company known to do cloud gaming and stuff like that. But you are not doing that for yourself. That's what makes it annoying. It's like you're saying the right things, but at the same time, you yourself bought out. I think that from what I've read in an article, over 20 different developer studios since 2017, and you still to this day don't have anything to show for it. Where's Senua's Sacrifice's sequel? Where's any of the big AAA titles or a good AAA title to say this is what cloud gaming is? This is where you're going to play it. You're going to play it on Microsoft's cloud-based gaming. Don't even worry about consoles itself. Yeah. But instead we're seeing is a push of technology, but not giving a damn about what's going to be on that said technology. And that's what's really frustrating to me. It's like they are good. They need to be. They show that they're good, but it just shows just this laziness of gaming just really irritates me. It's just really irritating.
And I'll say this, and Dust makes a good point. He said, I'll give the game a 4 out of 10 with the potential to hit a 7 or 8 out of 10 if they do what CD Projekt Red did with Cyberpunk. I agree. Mm-hmm. But there's another game that just recently came out, and like nobody's talking about it because Redfall took over for, all of the announcements, which mm-hmm. was Bramble the Mountain King. And it's mm-hmm. fantastic. I'm gonna beg Adam to buy it for me later. You haven't even heard of it. The graphics are stunning. I watched another streamer literally in tears playing it because of how gorgeous it is. And that I'm pretty sure that came from indie developers. And you're telling me that a big company like Microsoft can't, pardon my language, get their shit together and give us an actual game that is performance wise to the level that it needs to be, not back in 2002. Mm-hmm. I find that really hard to fucking believe.
It's unbelievable. I totally agree. But
I think Unknown makes a great point, and this is one of the scary things to me as well. Unknown says, I feel that will happen to Starfield. I give it a 30% chance it is not broken at launch, and I think those odds are pretty spot on, and I will sit here and eat it, because my biggest thing about all the moves Microsoft has been making, I was like, I think this could possibly be a good thing. I think there'll be that oversight that Bethesda needs. Clearly that is not the case, and this makes me super worried for Starfield, because I know the shenanigans that Bethesda does. They got no problem throwing out hot garbage and the same mentality. We'll fix it later or we won't. They don't care. And that is the biggest issue that I have with this, is that we cannot allow them to continue to let this and set this as a standard. I think what will happen, there's too many good games that are coming out, that have come out, that are coming out, for people to sit around and do this. They're going to find out that they're going to end up really hurting themselves, and this is going to impact them a lot more than they realize. And I don't think it's their fault necessarily. Again, when you start getting this big And you've got shareholders and boards, and those are the folks that are making those decisions, despite what the studios are saying.
Right. I have a question. Now, the creators of Redfall and Starfield are the same, correct?
Their developer studio is the publishing studio is the same, but the small developer are different.
Yeah.
I wonder. I almost wonder if they pulled part of the team from Redfall to go to Starfield, and maybe
I don't
that's
think so.
why. I don't know.
I don't think so. I might be. I
Ooh,
don't know.
Angelina says, I have heard of it. The game that you were talking about, Lex.
Rambo,
I wanted to play
I
it.
want it.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, and I love the storyline to it.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it right now, and it's like on Steam, dude. This game is $30.
Hold on, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up.
Yeah.
Would you say it's called Bramble?
Bramble the Mountain King.
Yeah, Mountain King. Yeah. All right, let me pull it up for you
this
guys.
Game looks,
real quick.
yeah, this game looks interesting. Yeah, with the shadowing and stuff. But like, I'm just saying, a $30 game by an indie studio that has probably not even a quarter of the budget that Redfall had is going to be giving you this kind of stuff because it's using Unreal Engine 5 for its shadowing and stuff like that.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. It's just like, it just drives me insane.
Y'all.
Yeah. it is unfreaking believable that this is the kind of crap that we're going to deal with this. But anyways, but like I don't want to kick a horse down while it's down with this. Now I will close in this because we'll move to the next thing. Microsoft's got themselves in the hole now. Like Starfield needs, Smitty's been saying it for months. Starfield needs to be a success. There's no in between at this point. I know that their big game at this point it's been a big game for AAA, but Starfield needs to be successful. There's no it's all right. There's no in between. This needs to show what like people have been waiting for and has been anticipating for the years on end to have a Microsoft title itself. Because like, you know what? If you could imagine if they had the same kind of first party support that PlayStation has on what they're trying to build for their cloud services, no one's going to touch it. No one is going to touch them whatsoever. But in this case, it's just a pile of mud right now. So I mean,
yeah. Personally, I would say if you don't have Game Pass, do not spend your money. You're free to do so, but I would say wait at least. There's too many good games that are coming out anyway. With Jedi Survivor just launching, we get Tears of the Kingdom this week. Like, I'm trying to grind through Jedi Survivor so I can grind through Tears of the Kingdom.
Are you actually trying to beat Tears of the Kingdom like faster than what you did with the first one? Or?
Absolutely.
Is that what you're trying to go for? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That sounds cool. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's cool. We'll talk.
Disappointing. It's just disappointing.
Yeah.
Overall.
I'll play it later though.
Yeah, no, I'll still play. Again,
I'll still play later.
I can't. No, I love you. I get it.
I mean,
I get it.
Y'all technically haven't. I mean, it's day one free if you're Xbox Game Pass, but I would say like that's good enough at that point. And then it's like, hey, when it disappears off the Game Pass, it's like, okay, no, there's no spilled milk on that for me. At least that's what it would be if I did it.
Yeah.
Okay, Lex.
It's my turn.
It is your turn.
We've been talking a lot about games and content and how awful it has been, but we haven't really been talking a lot about the community itself. So I found an interesting article, and I thought you guys would find it interesting as well. We've all dealt with stream snipers, and it is so frustrating whether you're playing in World of Warcraft or you're playing in Dead by Daylight. Stream snipers are everywhere. Well, interesting development. and you guys said his name funny earlier, so now I'm scared I'm gonna say it wrong. Asmongold.
You got it.
You got it.
Yay! I did it. Woo! Asmongold has made a stance with Blizzard because he has been playing World of Warcraft Classic on hardcore mode, or is it hard mode? Hardcore mode. And so if you don't know what hardcore mode means, basically when you're playing, when you die, you have to physically delete your character. So everything that you've accomplished, your leveling, all of that is gone, right?
I've heard of this.
So he was playing on hardcore mode and thoroughly enjoying it. My article has funnily just disappeared. That's lovely. And basically and I'm not sure if he himself went to oh my god, really? My art.
Like if he went to Blizzard themselves to get those bans, or if Blizzard
Right.
just wouldn't them.
I don't think it was necessarily him. What it
Uh-huh.
was is another creator had gone to Blizzard letting them know, they call it griefing, which
Mhm.
I'd never really heard the term, but basically it just means constant annoyance, right? So and that's what stream snipers are. They are a constant annoyance. So they would be watching Asmongold and then they would turn around and they would try to kill him. And in doing so, he would have to start over. And I believe the person's name was Asix,
Mhm.
Asix. That might be wrong. My article decided to die, but they got a hold of World of Warcraft in the DMs of Discord and sent them evidence showing people were posting like, "Oh, I killed Asmongold, and here are the screenshots." And you guys are idiots for doing that because now you're permabanned from Blizzard.
Oh
So
wow.
now finally Blizzard has taken a stand and they've stated that if stuff like that is happening to you on a constant basis, if you're a content creator, a streamer, what have you, you need to report it, because if you don't report it, there's nothing they can do about it, but that they're going to be more on the back
Ooh.
end looking for those reports to make sure that those people are banned and can't come back to playing the game. And so I was curious what you guys thought about it.
This is the thing, and again, by no means am I saying that stream sniping is a good thing or the right thing, but I mean, technically, you are streaming live, your stuff, so you're putting that out into the public domain, for people to be able to do that. Again, I'm not trying to defend stream sniping, but I don't. So I guess what? So they got banned for stream sniping.
Not just
Well,
stream
it's more.
sniping.
Is it
They
more for trolling, or
they were
so
griefing. So they
Which
would
basically
get
they're killing them, right? They're
they
killing
would
them and
get a
making them
group of
reset.
their people, correct. So
Yeah.
they would
Okay.
get, because in World of Warcraft, you have your team that you normally work with. And so they were getting their teams together and they're like, well, we see that he's on this area of the map. Let's go and get him. And so then they would go and purposefully attack. And if I'm not mistaken, like there was a Discord where people were like coming together to also try to then create bigger teams to try to go and attack him
Mhm.
when he was in
That's
hardcore
pretty
mode.
extreme. Yeah, that's pretty
Right.
extreme to
And
do.
so then they were posting screenshots of like, hey, we killed him, ha ha ha, good for us. And then it was sent to Blizzard and Blizzard took care of that real freaking
Yeah.
quick.
But that's the crazy thing to me though. So like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Supergirl on YouTube. She's kind of affiliated, I think, with Call of Shame. They go around and busting people and stuff like that on Call of Duty and like people that are cheating and stuff like that. So what she does is she physically goes into a game and seeks out these streamers and will kill them and stuff like that. And she got shadow banned at one point in time, but then they reversed that. So I don't see how that would be any different, because that is still stream sniping. So
Okay, but I think the two different levels are. Well, I mean, there's definitely there's definitely levels of stream sniping already as it is.
I would agree with that.
Because technically, I would admit. I mean, like when I was talking about Snap, when I was playing Marvel Snap with you, I still technically just listen to you, but technically in that sense, I am stream sniping you.
Yeah.
But I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating.
See,
towards all of the way I look at it. But you know what I'm saying, dude.
stream
You know what I mean?
He's griefing me
Because I'm doing that. He's gonna call Marvel Snap. But I'm saying in that point because I know you're gonna be talking shit behind my back, and I was like, I'm not gonna take it. But I was gonna say this though, like that level. I don't know who Supergirl is, but like, I don't think that she went out of her way. Like her point is to come and stop these, or to take out these content creators. I mean, even though it's a trollish thing to do, as opposed to let's make a freaking guild to do that specific thing, and then brag on it on the specific Discord meant to kill your character is a little extreme. Is what I'm saying. So like,
she makes videos about it.
I know, but I'm just saying different tiers of it shows like can you imagine have a guild is like, okay, we're gonna our main cause is to kill Smitty in this game. Like
over and
people,
over and
multiple people.
over and over.
I mean, don't get me
again.
wrong. Yes, that would be very upsetting. I just don't know how, and I understand. I in terms of on a level scale, I just don't. What is that level scale then? Where's the
I guess
cutoff?
this is what it is. I see what you're saying. Where's enough? Okay, yeah.
Well, and I get that too. And like, when people stream Snipe Me and Dead by Daylight, it's like whatever. It's just a game at the end of the day. But if I worked so hard in hardcore mode to get my character to this level and equip all of these items to then just get killed purposefully by a guild who was seeking me out and doing nothing else, that would drive me insane.
It's actually got
no, I agree 100%. But I mean, again, if you put that information out there to where people can specifically get into your server that you're on, and well, I mean, then how do they know it's even him?
Because he's watching the stream. Because if they're watching his stream and then they're purposely just saying, "Hey, okay, he's on this server," and then because people get pretty crafty when it comes to streamers and stuff.
Yeah, and that's true. And there are ways to pull IPs and stuff like that. Because and again, I'm not necessarily saying it's wrong, but or saying that it's right. I'm just saying that
I just don't see.
For me, I want to know what that. I want to know what that level is.
Yeah. I mean, I see what your point is. Like,
to where you get permanently banned because they, maybe. I mean, for them that clearly this is a scumbag thing to do. In the first place, it's not something that I would do, but I'm just saying, to those, to those people too, just looking at the other side of it, I suppose, to get a permanent ban and thinking that you're just, because all these people, pranking and joking, and they're probably kids.
Level, but if you hit a permanent ban level, it's not probably your first time. Or it's or to that level. I don't think it'll be one time.
And Asmongold actually was banned from the game for a short time as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they reversed it. No, it was for something else. I'm not quite sure what it was. It didn't specify, but at one point in time, he was banned from playing World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft Classic. But he was unbanned. I think it was done by mistake. People were mass reporting him or something. But he wasn't even the one that sent the screenshots. Somebody else did. And I believe they are also a moderator of his, but also a content creator as well. But I'm pretty sure, here's the thing. If I'm going into a server and I'm, I've invited you and Davis and Dust and Nightmare and Mick and Ravage, right? We're going to do our guild and do our thing. I usually keep that private unless it's, in my Discord with people that I feel that I can trust. Now, obviously I'm a smaller creator, but in that case, I would send it privately. This is the server we're on. Here's the password, yada, yada. You know what I mean? But I think people are going out of their way to hack to figure out what server he's in to then try to attack him and kill his hardcore mode.
Did it say? Just want to know, did it say how many people have been affected by this, by this griefing? Because I don't think that even though they're talking about massive bans, and the only reason why is because he's a massive streamer. I don't know, is that how big of an issue is it? It's hundreds of accounts. I don't think it's hundreds of accounts and stuff like that. I guess I guess it's just the thing is that since we don't have the full information, how are they making that determination of them banning these people? It is what it is. But I'm pretty sure they have. I'm giving them some sort of level of benefit of the doubt that they're doing this because there's evidence to back the issues of banning these accounts,
right. It didn't say my ad blocker, apparently it doesn't like it, so it won't let me look at the article. But when I read through the first 2 times, it didn't say how many people were affected necessarily, but that had become such an issue, not just for him but for other creators who were also smaller, and that ASICS had reported it to somebody in Blizzard. She had a DM conversation with somebody high up in Blizzard and was like, this is a constant issue for us, and it's the same group of people. Here are screenshots. And then they did their research, and then that's when they banned them. So
so they were doing it to multiple people, and
it was
that,
not just
yeah,
like,
yeah,
he was the
yeah.
main he was the
Yeah.
biggest streamer out of all of them that
Like
was
I said-
having it done. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like I said, I was giving them benefits of the doubt that they weren't just saying, okay, this person did this to who? Okay, permaban.
As
Right,
they
right,
go,
right.
we like him,
yeah.
you're banned. No, no,
Right.
no, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No.
Well, NT says EVE Online has shady, weird stuff like that happen all the time. And then he did also say that they have stream delay, like 15 minutes to help with snipers. But even then, I feel like in a game like this, if you're in that server, if you get into that server, you can determine just based off a location, especially if you play a lot, where a person is, or at least a general area of where a person is, just by looking at their stream. So,
Well, and WoW Classic has been around for so long. If
Right.
you played it for a year or two, you know exactly just by like the area and watching them pan around, you can tell where they're at and go and,
Right.
and you know, have a siege
Yeah,
of a
or
sense,
like
you
I'm
know?
assuming. Yeah, I don't know how many servers Classic have, but I'm pretty sure it's not that many relatively. So
No.
like even if they did, I don't think it's really that hard to the odds for you to get into a same server as like big streamers or something. Then it's pretty good like
Yeah.
for you. So I mean it sucks, but at the same time, they're kind of like in a rock and a hard place on trying to curb that behavior. But like, man, but even going the opposite side for people like you're saying, you have a content creator that's her content is to do that is. Like that's just a little that's so dickish to me. I'm sorry.
I mean,
just think
well,
it's
here's no. She's only
it's a little
she's
trashy.
doing it to people that are getting bot lobbies. These streamers. She is specifically going after these streamers that are doing the bot lobby stuff and this and that. They've also, with the anti-ricochet update that they've done, now make it so that where like if you shoot somebody and you have hacks and it detects it, it'll make the person that's not cheating turn invisible to the person that's cheating. You'll get one hit on them. Yeah, so they've stepped up their game in terms of it's calling out all kinds, because a ton of the COD streamers are just using hacks to make themselves look good. They'll use things like VPNs and stuff like that to go in these trash lobbies instead of it being skill-based matchmaking. And then they'll just shit on people for content, basically. Yeah, so basically they're going after people like that and that are just cheating. Yeah.
So she's
like Robin
heroine
Hood
of that story. I get it.
So she might not be taking the most legal route to do it, but
feel it.
or morally, it's a morally ambiguous route to do
But
it.
that's a
But
different-
it's
that's a different
justice,
kind
it's
of-
sweet justice.
That's a little bit different than in that case then, because I mean, yeah, like I said, there's different kinds.
I know, but I just want to know what the line
is.
is. I just want to know what the line is.
I feel with her that's different though. You know what I mean? Like she's going out and taking out these people who are scumbags. That's a little different. These people are all scummy scumbags and just trying to ruin someone else's day just to ruin their day to feel good about themselves because they've got small pee energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, but still, but who's to say though? Because they're ruining the streamer's day by going in, because they will keep doing it. If the streamer goes until she'll get shadow banned and stuff like that, because these streamers have the ability to basically get people banned out of their lobbies.
We all know
it's
we all know there's definitely going to be caveats in any kind of thing in sense of source of this, but especially with this whole situation, it's like who knows, like what it is or whatnot.
It's a morality question at the end of the day. But fun fact, guys, they're all just games. Nobody gets hurt at the end of the day, and you can move on with your life.
It just pisses me off that people go through these links just to freaking cheat. It's like
there's trash people, dude. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Oh, for sure.
Like I would probably like to play more Modern War or more Call of Duty if it wasn't just to that fact alone.
I get shot right in the face.
Yeah, so
it makes the experience unenjoyable for you. You can't enjoy the game as a regular person just trying to play the game.
And God forbid I get a map I can't see on, because fun fact, they don't have my type of colorblindness, so I can't see nothing except bright sunlight. And then I'm like, oh, black, shoot. Oh, that was my teammate. Whoops. My bad.
So they go, before we move on, it says the Eater of Days says there's a big stream sniping situation is going on right now with a Fortnite pro clicks and check out the story, which I will check out the story once we're done with the
Interesting.
podcast. I
Yeah.
want to take a look at
Maybe
that.
that'll be
Yeah, I haven't
nice.
heard of that.
Yeah, you can take a look
Mhm.
at that if we have a chance. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. But all right, we're going to close it off with my topic.
Go
it's not
for
as-
it, buddy.
Yeah, it's not as crazy as the other two. Theirs were way better. But I just wanted to.
Thank
wanted to get what it was. It's true. It's like it was good discussion.
I love
So
your face.
yeah, I was just saying because like Mortal Kombat. They've confirmed they're making a sequel to the Mortal Kombat movie that they released 2 years ago. But then they were in search of trying to find the new Johnny Cage because they're going to be bringing Johnny Cage into the new one, into the new
Ooh.
mix. So I was like, yeah,
Is it Arnold
yeah.
Schwarzenegger?
Yes, it is Arnold Schwarzenegger. They decided to say, okay, we're gonna put him in the martial arts movie. Yeah, they're right. But I am I like the actor that they chose, but I don't like the actor. I don't like him in this role. So I'll tell you what. I'll give you guys one guess on who you think they got.
Dust
We
as
have a
Ryan
little-
Gosling.
We have a little hint.
He has that Barbie money, baby. I don't think
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He got that Ken
That
money,
movie
dude.
looks hysterical. Smitty, we have to go see it with the girls.
he's good.
Channing Tatum. Can we have a hint? We need a little hint.
Okay. Yeah, let me try to say it because it's gonna be too easy. Once you do, you'll
Okay.
be like,
Oh.
he's been in, like, he's known for he's a very big Australian action star.
Oh, Liam Hemsworth?
No,
Oh, I don't
Or
know.
Chris Hemsworth?
no, not the Hemsworths. None
Okay.
of the
Okay.
Hemsworths.
Okay.
He's an
Yeah.
Australian actor. Has he been in movies recently?
Yes.
Is he
You know what? I'll say no.
tall?
I'll say no because
Okay.
like he hasn't been.
How tall are we
yeah.
talking?
Hugh Jackman.
No, but that's a good one. That's a good
Oh,
one. But
he's
no.
a little old.
Yeah.
Oof.
Liam
Okay.
Neeson.
Sorry, Hugh. I'm so sorry. You're so hot. My bad.
Nightmare says Carl Urban.
Okay, that's it. That's it.
Oh,
don't
dang.
know who
Carl Urban. Carl Urban.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that is it. Yep, Carl Urban. Carl Urban has been officially signed.
Weird.
Exactly. Carl Urban played Judge Dredd. He was one of the Killmongers from Perfect Dark. Not Perfect Dark. But he's been in a lot of action. He's Butch from The Boys.
Yeah. Billy Butcher.
Yeah.
Oh,
Billy Butcher from
I
The
know who
Boys.
that is.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know, no,
actors'
he
names. That's
Yeah.
Adam.
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy, or not Guardians of the Galaxy, the Thors too.
Yeah, he was
Mhm.
he was in the Thors too as part of the was he part of the Nova Squad? I don't remember.
Mm.
Oh no. Was
No.
Yeah. So
He's been in
yeah.
Star Trek too.
Yeah, you were right,
yeah,
Nightmare.
He was Bones.
He's been in
Yeah.
a ton
But
of stuff.
He's been in a ton of stuff, but I don't like him
Johnny
in
Cage.
this role. Johnny Cage, like
How
it's just
tall is
weird.
he?
He's tall. He's not super tall, but he's tall enough.
Not only that, dude, but
But,
so
like-
you're telling me that he's gonna be able to do the splits punch? Get out of my face,
Split punch.
dude.
I know,
That's
right?
classic
One.
Johnny Cage. It has
Only
to
s-
happen.
He's gonna have for sure. He's gonna have a body double to do that.
I
There's
am
no
not.
way.
It's gonna look
I'm not-
hilarious.
Fucking
Yeah,
way.
I'm not saying to throw shade to the levels of like Chris Pratt being Mario, but I personally just can't see it because it's weird.
I like Liam Neeson better.
A game like a Mortal Kombat, you're thinking you're going to get a martial artist or
Right.
some sort, but
Johnny
but
Cage
Carl
is a
Urban,
martial artist.
He's a
It's
martial
fighting
artist.
game.
I would just think that you're going, and he's like, how old is he? He has to be like 50 years old now. Like,
And-
Apparently
oh.
he was in Xena the Warrior Princess.
Yes.
oh
Yep.
my God, he was in
How
Yes.
old is he?
Yes.
He's
Yo.
50 something years old, man.
At least.
He
At
was
least.
born in 1972. He's 50. He looks fucking great. I
So,
want
No,
to
he
know
does,
his weight
yeah.
regimen.
I'm not saying, okay, like I said, he's a great actor. I love Carl Urban. I'm just saying It's like saying we need a good martial artist. Let's get Jackie Chan to play a 20-something-year-old man again, or something like that when he's 70-something years old. You know, I mean, I'm sorry,
it just doesn't make sense to me. Not only the fact of that, but if we're sticking to canon here, you're telling me Carl Urban's gonna get with Sonya Blade? No, dude.
Oh, that's true. That is also true.
No, dude. Come on. What are they doing? I can't picture it. Huh?
I don't know enough about it.
Oh, so eventually him and Sonya and Johnny Cage hook up and they become a family.
Yeah.
And they have a kid. And stuff. Yeah. So like, but it's
cool.
yeah,
I wonder who's gonna play her.
Well, I don't know that they'll go that far. Like, that's the other thing too. Is like, cause that happens like later on in Mortal Kombat. Yeah. So again, that's what I'm wondering in terms of the storyline. Where are they going? I don't see how they can get away with that unless they're like in the future or something like that.
That's a really good question because like the other movie was weird. Y'all watched.
I watched it. I did.
Yeah. Did you watch Mortal Kombat? The one that happened 2 years ago.
Yeah, Jessica McNamee was the one who played Sonya Blade in the newest one. So I'm assuming they're bringing her back. Age-wise, they match up a bit because Carl Urban doesn't look like
how old is she?
If you look her up, I mean, she looks like she's in her 40s.
Yeah,
no, stop it.
A martial artist, though. You need a martial artist.
The woman that played.
Hold on.
Well, that's the biggest thing.
I just think that
he is a great actor. That's what Dust says. Dust says Carl is 1,000% perfectly cast in every role he plays. The man is a god actor.
Wow.
But he's not a martial artist. So I don't disagree with you. I love him and everything. But how do they?
You don't.
How do they get around that? Look at it. Oh, there she is right there. You're telling me, nah, dude, she's like Well, yeah, she might be 40s.
She did not look 34 in the movie. I was
gonna say, yeah, I was like, I thought maybe like mid-30s, early to mid-30s was what I was thinking.
I'm about to be 35. Look at my face and look at hers in the film.
I can't see what you're looking at, so I don't know.
It's not happening. If you just Google Sonya in the newest one, here, hold on.
Keep showing him pull that shirt down.
I'm sorry.
Was that something that happened?
What?
That's what Nightmares says over on TikTok. Keep showing him pull this shirt down.
Oh, that's funny. Hold on. Here. If you look in this article, it shows what she looks like normally and then what she looked like in the movie. They aged her in the movie. If you scroll down.
They aged her in the movie?
It looked, I mean, they didn't do her any justice. They didn't do any good, like, I mean, obviously she's not an actress that's going to wear a ton of makeup or anything. But as far as like, as age-wise, it doesn't seem like it would be too far off or too far-fetched. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. If Harrison Ford came knocking on my door today and said, come with me, and I'd say, okay. And he's a lot older than me.
Harrison Ford is 82 years old.
I don't care.
Harrison Ford is 82 years old?
Yes,
yeah. And he looks fucking great. He looks like he's in his like mid-50s.
That's crazy.
Shut up. He would go, take my hand, and I'd say, yes, sir. You know?
I'm sorry, he's not 82. He's 80. He just turned 80.
Close enough.
Yeah.
I
mean, like,
dude, yeah. I don't care what you say though, man, because Johnny Cage is a martial artist. I don't care if you know how to do action film stuff. There's a huge difference. This has come from someone that was in a martial arts film that does not know martial arts. I felt like a fool.
Well, you have to think of it. It's like as choreography. You know what I mean? It's all choreography.
But if you are not really a fighter, it doesn't feel comfortable to do it. Weird. So it doesn't, and it does not translate well on film. Is all I'm saying. And again, and that's what he does. And I'm not saying. I'm not saying that he can't do it.
Action star, yes.
I'm just saying totally I'm having a very hard time.
You don't know.
Seeing him do the splits and punching up like Johnny Cage does. I don't see it happening.
Let's say that they cut.
They'll CGI his legs.
like they did with Thor in the Thor God of Thunder. But I'm just saying that like I just even without the split kick, I can't see him doing a shadow kick or the ball or just in general. Like I don't know, man. Like.
But you have
I'm
to think
keeping
about
an
it
open
too.
mind.
He's probably like in intense training to do this character. If that's who they really picked, he's in intense training right now for that role. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I am having a very hard time picturing him as Luke Cage.
I'm not saying
not Luke Cage.
Not on board. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm not saying I'm not on board. Okay, I'm just saying that it's going to be a stretch. Just like you know what it is to me. I think this is the same kind of situation when it was Heath Ledger was announced to be Joker. Like we didn't know what we were going to get. You know, we didn't do. Prior to Heath Ledger, prior to that time, he had nothing like that. He had Knight's Tale. He had 10 Things I Hate About You. All these teen bop movies and stuff. But so I'm just saying,
and I agree. That's acting chops wise. We know that Carl Urban has the acting chops. I'm talking about the physicality.
Yes.
Is the big thing for me.
I'm on board with you on that. I totally agree with you on that. It's gonna be hard.
You got to think too, like, okay, for instance, like all the Marvel actors, they all have these intense trainers. They're in intense training, like night and day for months to get ready for those films. They have yoga teachers, they have Pilates teachers to get them nice and stretched. Like they're going to town. As someone who did martial arts and kickboxing, you know, I've seen him fight a lot in what was the gore porn show he was in?
The Boys?
The Boys, thank you. It's gore porn. It really is.
You need to read the
audience, if you have not watched The Boys and you are not into bloodiness all of the time, every time, and don't watch it. I've seen him fight, and he didn't have stunt actors when he was fighting. He's pretty good at doing what he does already, and I get it. But he may come from like a kickboxing background. We don't know. So he's probably in intense training, and then everything else will be a stunt double for things that he can't handle.
I would hate that still. I would hate that more, actually. If they do it that.
Because I mean, you may be able to fight, but there's different styles of fighting as well. And Johnny Cage has a specific fighting style. So just because you know how to fight doesn't mean that you know how to fight in a particular style.
In that way.
I disagree. I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, but you can't put me in jujitsu and say good luck.
Right,
you know
right. I mean? And it's more about as long as I'm able to believe, as long as I'm just having a hard time. And again, I'm not trying to jump to any conclusions. I'm just now having a hard time being able to envision him being Johnny Cage.
That character.
He is not Johnny Cage to me.
Especially since you're familiar with the character Johnny Cage prior to that, and I definitely, we'll
different iterations.
We'll definitely have to wait and see.
But also, you have to think about this too. Mortal Kombat hasn't come out with a lot of really great movies, so for him to accept the role where his career has been headed, and it's at an upward trajectory. I can't speak. He is appreciative of the Mortal Kombat itself. Why are you laughing at me? You knocked that off.
No. What Dust said is like problem solved. All characters will be played by Donnie Yen moving forward.
Perfect. There you go. We'll just white face Donnie Yen. There you go. That's not racist.
He played Sindel, Goro, Shang Tsung,
and Sonya.
Yes.
I know exactly where he can get the fake boobs that the drag queens wear. They look very real. Oh man, that's a funny conversation. I have to tell you guys.
I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, guys. I'm gonna have to cut it short. We're over the time, but yeah, it's cool. No, we'll see. We'll definitely see. I'm still gonna watch the movie. I mean,
do you know what? Is it in production and stuff? Or no, they're still casting and whatnot.
They're still casting. Yeah, so we'll see. But definitely gonna have to just for the principles. You know, I mean, come on.
I thought the one that they did, I didn't mind it. It wasn't bad or anything. I was
not a big fan of it because it was weird. Because like Mortal Kombat, long story short, Mortal Kombat is about a tournament. Then the movie isn't about the tournament of Mortal Kombat. It was the bad guys were trying to cheat completely in the whole thing. I was just like, they didn't even do anything in the tournament. It wasn't even tournament based.
It was.
It was you know, I mean, it was a little weird. It was a little weird for that. It's like, hey, they're going to do Mortal Kombat to figure out, and they even described what Mortal Kombat was. Yeah. And then they didn't. They didn't even do it.
That was the exposition we got on the actual tournament of Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat's about the realms to merge, into which whoever wins 10 in a row, then they get, then they merge the realms. Oh, but we ain't doing that. We're just going to be
story.
Yeah, we're getting siege. Oh, loved it. But anyways, folks, thank you for listening to episode number 173 of the CFG Gamecast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation, as always. We will be back again next week with some awesome topics, as always. But if you did miss out on this episode, that is perfectly okay. We release it on all podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, what have you, every week at the beginning of each and every week. So there is absolutely no reason to miss out on all sexy voices.
Oh, yeah.
Hi guys, thank you so much. And also be sure check out the website confreaksandgeeks.com with some awesome great content as always. So once again, this is Davis, Lex, and Smitty signing out. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.